This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
Dan, are you there?
I'm Dan. No, actually, Bill, did you say your name?
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
I couldn't hear him. I thought he was doing the gag for a second. So.
Oh my gosh. That's too funny. So, this is Tuber Tuesday featuring Dan. Do you want to tell real quickly what you do, Dan?
Sure. By day, I'm a small-time YouTuber covering pop culture, movies, games, and the like. And by night, I moonlight as a blue man.
As you can see in the thumbnail at the bottom here, or the frame in the bottom here, Dan is the blue guy. So today we're doing our Tuber Tuesday special, and we're going to be covering a relatively small channel called Vic Blanco Prods. Came into contact with him over the r/small_yt channel subreddit, and we really enjoyed his content, so we wanted to cover him. Obviously, as you can see, he does really good thumbnails, and he likes to talk about various controversy, exploitation, story time. This is a Rip Pizza episode is a story time episode, and he does a lot more content. It's kind of more adult oriented humor. What would it be? Young adult, adult oriented humor. So I would not recommend children watching, but certainly adults and mature young adults could watch this content. It's very funny. His style is reminiscent of some other YouTubers I used to watch probably 10 years ago, where it just flows. It flows very quickly, gets the content out fast, and has a lot of good visual aid to go with it. What did you think, Will?
I think it's quick, witty. I think it's pretty unique for what I've seen. Like you said, I really like the flow. I like the content that he's covering, and even that pizza episode, which is really short, and it's just you kind of expect a longer story, but it ends up being really quick and funny. I enjoyed that too, so I'm looking forward to see where he goes from here.
Here's an example I got up on the screen here of what his content looks like, without showing any of the sound. So, Dan, what did you think?
Yeah, I really like his stuff. It's short and sweet as compared to some of the longer, almost thesis-like masterpiece analysis of YouTubers. He has a certain righteous anger that really appeals to me. Like you almost feel like he's right, even if what you think he's wrong, by the tone of his voice, because he's so indignant.
Are you still talking? I can't hear you.
Oh yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can now.
And
Okay. I lost you there for a second.
To hear you.
So, are you? Was that the end of your thought there, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just really like the
Okay.
tone.
These long pauses are definitely part of your part of our podcast this week. I liked in the first one I saw of him, the one that he had as a review. Just for example, he's going through and he's talking about this exploitation of this Danny Cohn, I think is how you pronounce it, and how they've got this. I mean, she's essentially out of her element, singing songs in a language that's not her first language, and they're and he's got these great animations, and it just fits exactly what he's talking about. Like, there's Jake Paul of all people. Like, it's just, and then he's talking about these sandwiches. He puts them on the clock because you're doing the same work every day, right? SSDD, same work every day. And then he talks about Susan. He goes Wazawak, because realistically, how many people really know this Susan woman at all, other than YouTubers? And then her name is so hard to pronounce, right? I think it was Wajicki, Susan Wajicki. Is that how you pronounce it? Am I saying that right?
My best guess.
But she's like universally like not. She's definitely not within most people's happy circles. Let's put it that way. And because of that joke works so well with other YouTube creators, and for me it resonated very well. And then talking about this exploitation, I mean, this girl is what, 13? I think he does a good job of going over why this is wrong, and then talks about how other YouTubers just make fun of these people instead of getting to the point of what the actual problem is.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there was some YouTubers that I used. Wow. I'm obviously not an English teacher. There were some people back in the day that would do videos similar to this style, but definitely not with this amount of editing and this amount of visual effects that really make the video work better. I'm trying to think. I mean, like Chris Raygun. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yeah.
He does kind of similar content, albeit he has changed a lot over the years. And then I would say another one that would be similar. I mean, iDubbbz, he just made fun of him, but iDubbbz is kind of similar. I would say that he definitely covers more interesting subjects than those two do right now because he's smaller and he can. I think the bigger you get, the harder it is to cover. And we're going to stop that there and go back to his channel.
Well, it's just getting good.
But no, I mean, he's allowed to cover things because he doesn't have money on the line at this point in time. You know what I mean? Like, you can have edgier content as a smaller YouTuber and see moderate success, but as soon as you kind of start making that money, it's kind of hard to keep doing that. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what happens with like Chris Raygun and iDubbbz. They just, at some point in time, they have to be a little more professional. I think Vic Blanco makes great content, and I hope he doesn't change. But I'm sure if he starts making money, he'll have to think about it at least. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, the vulgarity on YouTube, it can go either way, definitely. So,
right.
If
Some
you're
people
building,
get away with it.
yeah, well, if you're building a YouTube channel based on your personality, it can work, I suppose. But if you're trying to go a little more in depth into issues, kind of almost have to remove yourself from it. You can give your opinion, but you want them to focus on the situation. So once he figures out the balance, I think he'll be better.
And then the only comment I have, Vic, for you specifically is your Azzyland picture. That thumbnail. It's a little ridiculous. I mean, I see what you're going for here, but yeah. But no, I really like your content, Vic. I'm talking directly to you now, and I've said it before on Twitter, and I've said it before in the r/small_YT channel. I like your content. I think if you can keep doing this, you'll build an audience, and eventually you can probably make money doing this, but it's going to take a little while. What about you, Will? What are your last thoughts?
Well, Vic, in case you're wondering, Chris likes your content. I do too. I've enjoyed all the videos I've seen. I think you're doing, you just keep doing you. Your audience is going to grow with each video you put out.
How about you, Dan? What are your last thoughts?
Keep it up, man. Vic, I think you have potential to grow, and I'm looking forward to watching you. So, good luck. All
right. So, without further ado, I recommend everybody that is watching this that is of the appropriate age to go subscribe to Vic Blanco Prods on YouTube. All right. And with that, as always, I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
I'm Dan. Got it.
There we go. And we will see you
on next CHRILLCAST.